As you can see, I very self-appreciatively put my Snapchat and Instagram up there. Perfect time to do it. If you're going to give a sermon, you might as well tell people how to contact you. If you guys like silly videos, follow me on Instagram. If you want to chit-chat on Snapchat, I like to have deep conversations every once in a while about your boyfriend or your girlfriend or time travel or whatever. So I'm going to talk about me for a second here. One, I am a man of God. I try to be. That's the best I can say. That's probably the best most of us can say, let's be honest. I'm a very narcissistic person. I love myself so much. Yeah, I want to be famous, you know, I just want to be that, you know, I want to be the center of attention, that's why I'm doing this. But I've learned over the years, as I've grown older, I've become more aware of like who I am. I have two passions in life, two serious passions. One is music. I study, listen to it, play it, make it. Music is, it's everything for me. Well, half. The other half is trying to make people laugh. I just like doing that. See, right there. I just like doing it. It's something I love doing. And if I learned what these passions were, if I learned what I wanted to be, like these two passions, they would be at two places. There are two places, and these two places are what I've known to be called thin places. If any of you guys went to Youth Force last summer, Pastor Ray, he has the voice of an angel, I'm just saying. He's a great pastor. He talked about thin places, and if you come to youth often, you probably heard Jamie talk about it. Thin places. A thin place is a place that you feel like you can just step right into heaven. Like it's very close. You're right there. God's presence is strong. And these are the places that I think are my thin places. First thin place, right there, the laboratory. That's my room. It's kind of big. It used to belong to two people. I kind of luckily inherited that. But in the laboratory, creative energy is always flowing in there. God struck that room with creative energy. And just anytime I'm up there, whether it be with other people, like this guy over here, his name's Colby Crane. Everyone say hi, Colby Crane. Hi, Colby. You can ask him, anytime we were up there, we're either talking about something, okay, well the nice word to use is creative. We're talking about something creative, or making something creative. And it's just a great place for me to, you know, catch up on stuff. I've learned how to be productive in my alone time. Like, if I'm not with him or any of my other friends, I'll just, you know, I'll write music, write anything. It's just what I do. And I learned how to write at the next place I'm going to talk about. Can you guess what this next place is? No, Kansas. Yeah, Kansas. No, it's actually Camp Egan. It is Camp Egan. Go to the next one. Boom. It's right there. Alright, so Camp Egan is, probably always will be my favorite place to go over the summer. I love it there. And I'm going to take you guys through a timeline here. Okay. Before I came up here, I promised myself I'd do at least one rap quote, and I'm going to do that right now. This is Kendrick Lamar. Brace yourself, I'll take you on a trip down memory lane. Okay, next slideshow, 2011. Here we go. That's me, Hunter Hutchison. Wait, no. Yeah, that's his name. I'm sorry, I don't remember a lot of the people's names that I know. Is his name Hunter? And then Griffin. His name, okay, I remember his name because his name's Griffin. 7th grade. All right, 7th grade. Now, if you're a man in here, you know that this is literally the weirdest time in your entire life. 7th grade. It's a weird time. Opening up is hard. If you can get a 7th grade boy to open up to you, you've opened a treasure chest, you know? It's a really special time if you can get them to open up. Girls open up pretty easily, it seems like. For most girls, that's just how it seems to be. You know, in my opinion, honestly, this is the way I look at it. Kids are like rechargeable batteries. You'll go to Camp Egan, and you plug the batteries in, you're filled with all that good emotion, that spirituality, and then you leave, you plug those batteries into the device that we call life, and you run out of battery, and then you just aren't consistent in Jesus Christ anymore. If I've learned anything, this is just what I think. I think girls tend to be a little bit more consistent than us guys. That's just what I think. But the reason I think that is because they can open up easier. They're not so contained with themselves. So this year, 7th grade, I was surprisingly enough just filled with all that fun stuff, I broke out, me and Matt Patrick one time just had like a really heartfelt conversation about 7th grade. And it was, tears fell. It was a really good time at Camp Egan. And in all this time of confusion and sadness, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, this is where I found it in myself that I could write. How many of you guys have been to Camp Egan before? All right, so most of you. Well, for the 10 or so of you that haven't been to Camp Egan, there is a mountain, or it is basically just a giant path. It's a hassle to climb. It's not fun climbing it. And you can say it's nice, it's not. The top is, let me just go through it. So there's this giant path, not giant, it's like a really thin path. It's concrete, it's just really cracks and bumps everywhere. And there's little stops on the way. And then at the top, there are a couple things. One, good cell reception. If you don't have service and you go, if you have to climb the mountain to get good cell reception, you're addicted to your phone, okay? But anyways, there's that. There is also this water. They have water up there. There's seats. And then there's this cross that's probably that tall, that thing right there. And behind it is beauty. It's land as far as the eye can see, and you can really see the beauty of what God created. 7th grade, this is my first time to actually climb that mountain. And I don't know if any of you were there, but this is what sparked me to write. This is what put it in me. I wrote about the mountain, and I'd like to read this. This is 7th grade, so basically, I'm about to read to you the dumbed down me. So here we go. This is the mountain, the most generic name I could have chosen. My experience at District Camp was amazing, but the most important thing about District is the mountain, or as I like to call it, Life Hill. Life Hill is more than just a mountain. It is a symbol of life. As you start that hill, it hurts. It is hard. You fall down, but you have to get up. You keep going. You see cracks in your path of life, which represents death, breakups, or ending friendships. You take some breaks, or you take a break from work, school, or maybe even just plain life. But still, get back up. You get back up and start walking, but slowly. You start getting really tired. You're getting to that age where you can barely walk. Life Hill is rough. You are almost there. You are there, at the top. You see the cross, God, and whatever you imagine heaven to look like. My point is this. My point is that you aren't going to get there. Okay, my bad. My point is that you aren't going up there to get good reception, or to sit down, or to get a drink of water. It is to be there, at the top. Some of you know me as that funny kid that just walks around, but I would never have written this story if I didn't alter my life. I encourage you to go home a different person, alter your life. Now, alter your life was like the theme that year. So, see, I don't necessarily think this is that good, but this is very important to me. It's because this is the first time I ever wrote something that's not for a teacher. And once you can get that out of your system, it's beautiful. So, Camp 2011, I learned one talent God had given me, at least one passion, and I haven't forgotten it since then. Okay, next slide. 2012, 8th grade. This was the year that camp was cut short for just, reasons. And I just remember, it was like 2 days in. And there's, that's not even half, like, the time you're at camp. And I just remember that everybody was bawling, everyone was crying. It was a terrible time. It's not funny. No. Anyways, there was just a lot of people were crying and stuff. And, but what kids didn't know is, what they didn't keep in mind was like, that's not the end for you. I mean, there were some seniors graduating, but it's not like, okay, I've got a couple days of camp, that's my time with God. That's not how it is. If I could, I'd like to read a Bible verse for you guys. Hold on for a second. Okay. Proverbs 23:18. By truth, that's not it. Here we go. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Or, in this translation, for surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. So, even though that year at camp was cut short, what I learned that year was that expectations might not be met, but God will always speak in your life, whether you're at camp or you're at home. Okay, go to 9th grade. That's 9th grade year. This is the year that God added to my agenda of interest. In other words, I did stand-up comedy for the first time ever. It's not just at camp. I did it for the first time. And I have, if you guys want, I'm not going to read them off just because there's a lot and they're kind of ridiculous. But I have the original freshman Carter Combs jokes up here if you want to check them out afterwards. This is the year that I learned another passion that God had given me. I have a humorous point of view on everything. LOL. Okay, go to the next one. Yeah, that's last year. Let's take a second to just soak this in.
Last year, though.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Anyways, this is the year that I did stand up again, and if you were there, then I'm just gonna say this. If you weren't there, I'm not gonna tell you because it's not nice to talk about. If you were there, you know that I said some stuff that probably shouldn't be said at church events. So, this is the year that I learned. I didn't realize what I was here for. I learned how to filter my, I guess you can say, passion. And, I went on stage and said something, they cut me off, they were like, all right, sit down. So, it's not good to just, this is the year that I learned that there's a right place and a right time for saying things. So, so you can go to the next one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but, no, just go to that picture of the Camp Egan thing again. Yeah, right. So, I grew up at Camp Egan. This is where I find peace. I've only been there 17 days in total. And I've been alive for, I don't know how many days. In 17 days, I've changed so much. It's amazing. This is my thin place, Camp Egan. Now, how can I relate this to you? Well, let me just put it to you like this. When I started writing, when I did the stand-up, God was right there with me, He walked me up on stage like I was handicapped and just put the mic in my hand. Jokes came out. I remember writing that story, that mountain story. I was sitting, Zach Melton was my cabin guy that year. And everyone was asleep. It was like 2 a.m. And I was just under my blanket with a light. And just didn't stop. I'd never stopped writing, right? I was just doing it. Came out. And, I did those things and I didn't think about what other people were thinking, Like it wasn't for other people. I mean, obviously I want to make people laugh, but that's just for self-confidence. I mean, it makes other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't thinking about other people when I did that. I was doing what I felt was right. God made you a certain way and you have to let that shine. You can't be fazed by other people's thoughts. You have to be yourself and do what God put you here to do. Psalm 139, verse 14 through 16 says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, that I know very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me, when none of them as yet existed. So, God made you the way you are for a reason. Of the 7 billion people on this planet, you are unique in very many ways. God will push you to do things. He will push you to do things, and if He does do that, do it. Don't fight it. Don't let other people influence it. Because if you fight it, like if I didn't write any of that, if I didn't do any of this crap, then you might find yourself in a position where you don't know where to go, and you'll just be lost. You don't know what to do. Just don't let it happen. If you let Him in, like I let Him in, and I'm serious, all I do when I'm alone is write. It's just what I do. God will help you find that spark inside yourself, whether it be writing or ventriloquism or something, I don't know. In 2012, as I said, camp got cut short, but it wasn't the end. I can't stress this enough. You know, you'll find bumps in the road. There will be turmoil. There will be turmoil, but you just gotta see past it. See to the brighter day, you know? Keep the faith. Don't dwell upon the sadness around you. And be thankful for, you know, the beauty that actually surrounds you. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 5 through 7, it says this. This is where I mess up. You know, I'm just going to read it. We live by faith, not by sight. Now, to me, this is like the Christian motto. We live by faith, not by sight. You can't let, look, I'm just going to say this. I can't stand seeing kids post something that's like sad or depressing about how their life is down, or that, you know, like on social media or something like that. I can't stand it. Just because, not that you don't have problems, it's not that, but you gotta choose, it's your decision whether or not you want to see the goodness in the world. You know, you can't let small little things faze you. Some kids just don't realize that. Let the beauty of this world overwhelm you and shun the sadness. Guys, I'm up here and I'm one of you. Okay? I'm just, the reason I'm not up here because I'm higher, like on a spiritual scale or something. I'm probably lower than some of you. I'm just like you. You know, I'm just another confused 16. But I do know this. As I've grown, God has helped me along my path more than anybody. You know, you can take advice from your siblings, your parents, your friends, even yourself, and you're probably going to find some skewed information, some stuff that isn't right. There's only one person that's going to, not person, whatever. There's only one thing that's going to give you something that's not ever skewed, and that is God. He will always give you the best advice. That's why we seek Him. That's why He loves us. Amen. Remember in all your problems in life, whether you've broken up with somebody, been there. You've had friendships that just faded away, been there. Death in the family, been there. Whether all this stuff happens, and you just have to see past it. You just have to see everything that's good around you. Sometimes, I mean, you just gotta find God. Sometimes you just have to find Him in those thin places. Let's stand and pray. God, thank you for this opportunity you've given me to come and speak to these people. I can feel your power and love in this building tonight. For some, this church may be a thin place, and we cherish moments like this where we get to come together and praise you. God, I hope that when these kids leave this building tonight, they'll have confidence in themselves as believers in you. I pray that they'll become more aware of the surroundings that deserve attention and forget the depression that exists in our society today. I pray that all of us come to realization that you are there, you are alive, you are well. God, we thank you for thin places where we learn and we grow. God, I pray that you can help all these students here to see past the darkness in this world, see the beauty that exists as your is alive and well. We ask that you be with us in this time of praise. In Jesus' name we pray.